Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aussie Formula Racing Season 8, Tier 1, Round 1. I'm here this evening, I'm Gus Rules, and with me is Mr. Spicer, premiering for his first stint in the commentary. How are you, mate?
Good, yourself?
Pretty good, thank you. Alrighty, we are getting ready for our first full qualifying session in AFR since, I think it was Monaco Season 1, Aussie Formula Racing. It may have even been F1AK, the precursor to AFR. So we are definitely looking forward to this one, as my audio isn't working in-game, and there it goes. Well, yeah, this is my first stint at streaming for a couple of seasons, so do let me know if you notice anything weird at all with the audio or video. Unfortunately, Kunai are unable to do full-time commentary this season, so hopefully he is able to pop in every now and then, but he was able to do some very nice graphics for us this evening. You can see the intro video and a lot of the assets all touched up. So thank you very much to Kunai for making some time to do that.
He's done a very good job.
Absolutely has, as he always does. There we go. We've got a few drivers out on track at the moment. I think we've got FIBA. No, it's Hero is on the front of the pack on their outlap. So I'm going to stick with him for a little bit. Interesting to see. I did hear rumors before the race that there may have been some people doing inters in the first quali session because the game doesn't allocate you enough tyres, but good to see everyone is on soft or medium tyres. But
I can second that. I did hear people discuss that. But looks like everyone's being sensible and just doing a lap on mediums or a softs.
Absolutely. So I'm going to follow Hero for his first lap now. Obviously, full qualifying is leaving Formula 1 for the 2022 season, I believe. So we're going to run this season with full qualifying, just to farewell that. But if you're unaware of the rules, if you make it into the top 10 of qualifying, you must start on the tyre. You set your fastest time in Q2. So Q1 will eliminate the bottom 5 drivers. Q2 will eliminate the next 5. And then the top 10 will do a final shootout in Q3. But they will have to start the race on the tyre they qualify in Q2 with. So a little bit confusing. That's probably why Formula 1's getting rid of it. But it does add a little bit of a strategy element to the race because you don't have to start on the quickest tyre per se if you're able to get into Q3 on the harder tyre, in this case the medium, which can go a little bit further into the race. We'll see how that all plays out. Psycho in the chat just yelling out, he believes that it's going to be a wet race, so that's why they're saving the rubber. So that might explain, Mr. Spicer, why we thought they would be coming out on inters.
Yep.
So yeah, obviously they don't get very many wet tyres for the race, so they'll be saving those this time around. Oh, thank you, Psycho. I will turn up the Discord audio. Apparently Spice is coming a little bit quiet, so I'll turn that up a little bit.
Yep, I'm just going to turn myself up a little bit as well.
Thank you, guys. Looks like Hero's made a little mistake there on that run. So I'm going to jump down. I think we've got one of the Red Bulls is on an outlap coming around the final corner. And I think he may have invalidated his lap before he even started.
Yep, Hero's just invalidated. Coming into the pits now.
Looks like Geordie's not going for a proper run. I think he's coming into the pits as well, so no one has set a time yet. I think we've got Matt Cadabry. Here we go. Red Bull teammate is on his flying lap. Oh, mate setting at 139.1, very competitive banker time, but FIBA setting at 38.5.
Someone stuck in Castle.
He looks like got the Alfa Romeo, possibly. Oh, Trent is out.
Easy.
Trent has crashed into him. Martinez has crashed into him as well.
Yeah,
Jump onto the other Haas. Apollo Pepsi coming into the castle section. It's completely blocked off. Martinez and Trent. Oh, and Apollo Pepsi goes to the wall as well. Of course, no ghosting is on in our AFR sessions anymore, so unfortunately, if you do get caught up in that, you are out, or at least you're going to have to come back to the pits to get a new wing. And still, Artanis' Alpine sitting in the chicane. I think he's Alpine.
Yeah, I think I've got a corner missing.
As Macadabri coming in, he's getting yellow flags. He's actually slowing down a little bit. Artana's still parked on the apex. He has disappeared now, but that's completely ruined Macadabri's lap. And we do have, I think that's...
So unfortunately for Trin and Chad for not setting a time, it looks like they won't be going through the Q2.
Back of the race. Oh no, sorry Kuna, the intro video was muted apparently. Unfortunately, I screwed that up, but we'll get it right for next week. So yeah, Trin and Artanis, very disappointing for them. So they're going to be out of Q1 without having set a time, so they'll be starting the back row. What is going to be a wet race. On board with T-Mac in the Alpine, and he's run through Sector 1. Only 8 drivers have set a time so far, so I think a few drivers must have got caught out by that little incident in the castle section. As we get more yellow flags through there.
Yeah, I think we've got Apollo, Pepsi, and Combine, a few others that were caught up in that. Still got Ando Cat, I think he's just about to set a time this lap.
Whoa, T-Mac taking a lot of curb there before the castle section. And keeps it nice and clean through there. But he has invalidated on the exit curb, and T-Mac still yet to set a time. Jump aboard with Andocat. Was a very slow potsy going through the... I call them a sequence of corners, but they're flat out in the final sector. Ando getting a nice tow from Big Al. Both of them... Or Ando about to finish his flying lap. Big Al just starting one. Bit of an incidental tow there. Goes up to P3. Mercedes 2-3 at the moment.
Got to be happy with that.
Absolutely. We jump aboard with the Alpine as he goes round for a lap. Very tidy first sector from Big Al. Wasn't purple, but enough to set a solid banker, which is more you could say for a few of the drivers at the moment. We've still got half the grid yet to set a time. Only 9 minutes left in this Q1 session.
I got T-Mac just brushed a wall, turn 5. So we'll see if that impacts his time.
Very tidy sector 2 from Al as well. Coming onto the final straight. It's a clean air in front as FIBA has retired. Now, I assume the game is smart enough to know that he's just done setting laps in the qualifying session and that he will be allowed to partake in Q2, but this is Codemasters after all, so who knows what's going to happen. Big Al goes P5 with 139.1. T-Mac, he said, we saw him brush the wall. Turn 5. He's going to get a little bit of a tow here from the Alfa Romeo. I think that might be Sandeezy, possibly Captain of Gold on his outlap. And yeah, T-Mac's going to get a little bit of a tow along here. And he's set to 140.010, so he doesn't actually improve his position. So I think you're completely right there, Splicer. That brush against the wall just ruining that lap for him. He's a couple of tenths away, but he is still safe. So at the moment, any time will get you into the top 15 as we go to Macadabri in the Red Bull with 7.5 minutes to go in the session. Yet to set a time.
Got Apollo, Pepsi still to set a time. And we've got Hero still to set a time. Might not want to leave it too much longer.
Interesting to see Hero down in that bottom 5 as well. He finished fairly highly last season. He was around 6th or 7th in the championship. And Potsy, our reigning champion, currently sitting on P3, did not get a pole position all last season, so an incredibly impressive statistic there as Macadabri jumps the curb.
That's a big jump, isn't it?
Yeah, imagine if we still had sim standard damage, that would be floor damage for sure. Those who don't know, we are running standard this season. We experimented a bit with sim standard last season. Unfortunately, having damage that's not repairable during the race just ruined the fun for a lot of our drivers, so decided to rein it back a little bit. Unfortunately, that does mean that we lose the ability, the functionality of punctured tyres, which is really unfortunate. It should be a separate setting, I think, in the game, but...
We can agree with you on that one.
Yeah, but anyway, you can get some bodywork damage in standard, but it's much more rare than it is in sim standard, so hopefully that improves.
Still doesn't mean there won't be any. Still won't mean that there won't be any safety cars down the straight.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So we still have the same safety car settings. As we saw in Tier 3, we had a couple of full safety cars and a virtual safety car, so definitely anything can happen, especially around these tight and twisty street circuits, in which you have to be alert, according to the great Jolyon Palmer.
Yeah, definitely got to stay off those curves and walls, and you're pretty much guaranteed to have a good result.
Absolutely. Still got Hero yet to set a time. He's gone around turn 1 now, so let's follow the McLaren driver for his lap. He's on the soft tyre as well, so a little bit of surprise. Most of the drivers we've seen go out on the mediums, try and get in the top 15. At the moment, the driver in danger is T-Mac, sitting on a 140.010, but the drivers in the danger zone are Apollo Pepsi, Macadabri, Trin, Hero, and Artanis. Trin and Artanis, of course, crashing out. So they will not be improving, so Hero just has to get into the 139s. I think is going to be safe enough for the time being. So we see Potsy there going out for another lap as Hero goes purple in the first sector.
Apollo Pepsi's in the pits. He's still in the zone for not going through to Q2.
Oh, and Hero's gone into the castle section wall. He's lost his front wing.
Oh no.
That is not what he wanted. We don't have much time left, just 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in the session. He will probably get back and around again to start one more flying lap, but this is not good for the McLaren driver. He's got to get back around without a front wing. There's no front downforce on that car at all. He's got to
well, not only that, though, it'll upset his Q2 and Q3.
Absolutely. So now he's got a scrub set of tyres. I mean, he probably will come out on this set of tyres again. He doesn't have to get a massively good time in order to get into Q2, but this is going to put the pressure on him, and the track limits are not very forgiving here as well. So one little mistake and slip up, being under so much pressure to essentially what is one-shot quali, this is going to make it very, very difficult for Hero. Hopefully he's able to pull it together, because we would like to see a really tight battle for the top 10 positions towards the back end of the session.
I think we're going to see probably about 8 to 10 cars go out with probably 3 minutes left to go, I reckon. Well, just so they know that they're going to be in the safe zone.
Interesting that we see Geordie and Potsy going on outlaps as well. Potsy coming back into the pits. I'm not sure if he's got a problem. Maybe scrubbing some tyres for a bit later in the qualifying session. But Geordie's on an outlap, so's Batemate. But from Mikhail downwards, everyone seeming to be going out again. So T-Mac still in the pits. Maybe he thinks that 140.010 is safe, but with Hero yet to set a time, I wouldn't count on it. Geordie going through turn 1, very tidy on the soft tyre as well, so expect a fairly solid time here. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2, just looks like some traffic on their outlap or inlap getting out of the way. Geordie's going to get a little bit of traffic here. Looks like we've got Hero on another outlap, so he has made it back out in time after that wing replacement. And he stays out of the way. Geordie goes through on his hot lap, but he does have an Alpha Tauri, and I believe that's an Alpine. Could be a Williams. I can never tell the difference with the track map colours. We'll find out soon enough when he gets there. Already looking pretty good so far. Coming into the castle section, the trickiest part of the track, carries a lot of speed through, kissing those walls, but unlike Hero, able to keep his front nose intact. Goes across the top of the hill, a double left-hander, flat out. Comes to the heavy and awkward braking section here. Is off camber as well. So easy to put into the wall there like Daniel Ricciardo did in real life back in, I think, 2017 or 2018.
Quite hard following people through that corner too.
Absolutely. Dirty air is really tricky on this game. It's coming through the final set of corners. Looking like a pretty tidy lap here for Geordie. And Mick House sets a 138.2 on the soft tyre. Geordie comes across the line with a 138.437. I dare say they are very, very safe. We're going to jump on board with T-Mac now, who is the driver at risk at the moment. Going through Sector 1. So little grip through there at the moment. I do notice as well it's getting a little bit overcast as well, so conditions could get a little bit more tricky. We are expecting a wet start for the race.
That'll make things a lot more interesting.
Absolutely. Comes into the very technical Sector 2. A little bit of traffic coming up at the castle section. T-Mac goes through. Oh, he turned it a little bit early there. He saw the little correction. He had to let go of the steering. And it's just going to compromise him a little bit. But he's looking pretty good as he goes across the top of the mountain. Unfortunately, we don't get any cool graphics to say whether or not he's on track to improve. He is in the bottom 5 now. He has been knocked out, I think.
Polo Pepsi has
Pepsi, yes, up to 11th. A great time there. T-Mac still at risk. Now Pondon outside the top 15 as well. Ekim, the man in the danger zone, is on his outlap, so he's going to cover that up. I don't think he's going to get back, though. Or is he? He's just in front of T-Mac here. Is he going to get caught out by the checkered flag? He's got the checkered flag, so he is at risk here, and T-Mac is into the top 15, so Ekim is out. He did not come out of the pits early enough. So we're on board. I think Hero's about to complete his lap here, so is he going to be safe? At 139.331 is what he needs to beat. Crush is our man at risk in the Ferrari. And he goes provisional pole with 137.821. So Crush is out, but he is still on a lap. Sandisi, the man at risk as well. It's P15, but he goes up as well. Now Polo Pepsi is back, the man at risk. And I think Ponton is about to come onto the final straight. We'll have a look and see if he can improve. Time to beat 139.137. Kuno, would you feel better if I called at the top of the hill rather than top of the mountain? Apparently it's reserved for Bathurst only. As Pondon comes across the line, 139.356, he misses out by 2/10. Now we're going to jump on board with Crush, who's also in the final straight. He's currently up his time by 6.5 tenths. That will be enough to secure him. How's he gone in this final sector? He is through, he's up into 6th, and Apollo Pepsi is out of fuel. He's not able to respond, and that is it. The driver's knocked out. Apollo Pepsi from Haas, the Pondon from Williams Racing, Ekim from Aston Martin, Trin from Haas, and Artanis as well. I think he's from Williams as well. Yes, yes he is.
Artanis? Yes.
So unfortunately, both Haas's knocked out in first qualifying. That's unfortunate, but somewhat realistic.
So just waiting for the AI to cross the line.
Absolutely. So Apollo Pepsi's got to retire. That's the only car we're waiting for in this qualifying session.
Then move on to Q2. Do we know what Q2 weather is?
I imagine it's just going to be a little bit of an extension on this one, so it could be continue to be cloudy. I haven't heard if there's any chance of rain for the rest of qualifying.
Well, considering the race is starting as rain, it doesn't matter what tyres they use in quali, I guess, unless they want to save some tyres for the end of the race, if it dries up enough.
Absolutely. Yeah, thankfully all my stats are working for our little points app, so I'll be able to share some very cool metrics after the race in relation to all of our qualifying and race statistics. But here we go. So, best time so far, 137.821 from Hero. Performs very well under pressure. We were commenting on how he made a couple of mistakes there through Q1. Wonder if we have any information about his tyre. Looks like he's just used the one soft tyre, so I think we were right. He's just used a scrub set of tyres to set that final time and to still put it on provisional pole. That's very, very impressive. Now, we've got our top 15 here. T-Mac, Matt Cadabri, Combined YouTuber, Podsy Hero, Ando Cat, Geordie, Fever, Mick Yard, Captain of Gold, Crush, Simdogger, Sandeezy, Big Al, and Baitmate. So, 15 minutes for this Q2 session. Now, the top 10 in this session will have to start on that tyre, but we are expecting some rain, so they may just opt to go for the softest tyre. Yeah, gonna happen here. So, Baitmate has selected the mediums, everyone else on the softs. You see a couple of drivers come out now. We've got the Alfa Romeo and both the Red Bulls.
I wonder if there's much track evolution at this track.
Yeah, I'm not certain. Generally, we do see the best times towards the back end of the sessions, but can never be too certain with the Codemasters games how accurately they model track evolution. So solid performance here from Captain of Gold to get into Q2. So he's one of our rookies this season in Tier 1. Also have Ekim, who unfortunately just got knocked out of Q1 a little bit earlier, not quite timing his final run correctly. We do also have Ando Cat and Apollo Pepsi, P1 and P2 from last season in Tier 2. For them to jump up. Unfortunately, we do have a couple of people who have missed out on Tier 1 this season. And we do hope to see them back in the future. We do have a couple of them are racing in Tier 2 and Tier 3 as well, so good to see those guys continuing to race. Make sure you tune in for Tier 2 a little bit later this evening. It will be on at 8:30 PM Melbourne time. So we've got Seb in the chat saying expect a 37 seconds. Maybe not in overcast conditions though, so some times in the 1 minute 37s. And Budding Snag saying, pretty sure it might rain very soon. So we might have a bit of a spicy qualifying session here. Baitmate, the only one on the medium tyres. If it does start to rain, he could find himself in the danger zone. You want to be setting the best time you possibly can on the soft tyre to start with.
Probably why most of the drivers have head out early just to get a time in, just in case the rain does come.
Absolutely. But with Geordie at the moment in the Red Bull. So he goes through the first couple of corners. So, almost everyone out on track at the moment. We've got Combined YouTuber and Mikau, the only two yet to come out on track. So, must be waiting for track just to quieten down a little bit. Maybe waiting for it to rubber in a little bit more. Which, as you say, if they've modeled track evolution correctly, track should get faster the further into the session we go. Pretty tidy Sector 2 so far for Geordie. Got yellow flags in Sector 2. Looks like that might be one of the Alfa Romeos there, going a little bit slowly.
Yep, looks like he moved over for Hero.
And Geordie coming into the final sector. Getting a lot of purple times, but so far he is the only one to get through those sectors, so he will inherit the quickest lap. Here we go, comes across the finish line. This will be the time everyone will be trying to beat. And it is a 138.559. We're going to see some new times now. We go Sandeezy, 39.7. Got Macadabri about to come across the line with on 39.278. We've got the Mercedes of Ando Cat coming across the line next. The 138.804. We've then got McLaren coming through next. Hero, 38.759, so it's good to see him back on it after a little bit of a scrappy Q1. You see Simdogger, the Aston Martin, come through now. P4th, 139.270. FIBA, only a 39.4 from FIBA. Expect him to be a little bit further up, as we do have a Ferrari of that combined. No, that's Crush. Looks like he might have had... no, he invalidated his run, so he's just pulled out of the way of one of the drivers. Big Al. Setting a great time for the Alpine. Alplan in action. 138.201. A couple of tenths clear there in Q2.
Got Mick out setting a purple first sector.
Jumping on board with him now. It's through Sector 2. So the McLaren of Hero staying well out of the way there. Very tidy castle section there.
Castle is probably one of the hardest corners.
Absolutely. You have to be super alert and you've got to hug the corner really well to save time. He's coming up to a little bit of traffic though. The Mercedes going to get out of the way. He goes to the runoff. I think he got caught out a little bit there. It's going to take him a little while to get out, and hopefully the game doesn't disqualify him while he does. Sector 2 is also purple for Mick, looking very, very good here. Currently,
very clean.
Time to beat to get into Q3 is a 139.467 held by FIBA.
Might get a bit of a tow from...
yeah, the two Alfa Romeos are giving each other a tow, but Mick might just be able to profiteer from this a little bit. He might be a little bit too far behind to really get a gain, but I don't think he'll need it. P2 with a 138.238, just 0.03 of a second behind Big Al.
Definitely a safe time.
We've got the Ferrari of combined YouTuber down in P14 at the moment on the lap, and we've got Crush also from Ferrari exiting the pits. Neither of the Scuderia drivers having set a time yet.
Looks like everyone's jumping in the pits. We've got combined setting a purple third sector. Be interesting to see where he ends up.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if the game sometimes shows up purple when it isn't, but you never know. Combined could have had a mega Sector 2. As he comes across the line now. The 139.281, not good enough to get into the top 10, as FIBA's dropped down to 13th. The time to beat now is 139.278. Matt Cadabry is our man at risk. Danger zone currently includes combined YouTuber T-Mac, FIBA, Sandeezy, and Crush. Sandeezy and Crush both on out laps. And jump on board with Crush for this lap. The number 69 Ferrari, nice. Yeah, it's looking very, very cloudy now.
Question is, will the rain hold out?
So Batemate set that time for P8 on the medium tyre there, 139.214. He's currently 0.06 of a second safe at the moment. Yeah, he's got a set of softs on them now, but he's yet to leave the pits. I do not think that is a safe time at all, so expect most of these guys to come back out into another lap.
Put that in comparison, that's probably the length of a tyre.
Absolutely. Oh, through that castle section looks pretty terrifying from that shot through the back of the halo. Crush does well to negotiate it. Still on track for a fairly decent time here.
So from first to 14th, there's only a gap of 1.5 seconds. So
absolutely. Very, very tight. We've got Sandeezy on a lap as well, so he may improve again. He's a couple of tenths behind FIBA there, and 13th he's on an out lap.
We've got FIBA just about to head down the main straight to start his lap.
Beautiful. Well, Crush just came across the line with 138.362, good enough for third, and pushes Macadabry down into the danger zone. Simdogger now the man at the risk of the 139.270. Jump aboard with Sandees. He's going through the castle section now. He's currently P15 with 139.7. Got to find half a second to get through to Q3.
But these drivers are doing well to keep it off the walls, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Purple sector for Sandeesi in sector 2. Looking like a pretty good lap from the Alfa Romeo driver. And he'll come across the line. Goes P5 with 138.665. Simdogger into the danger zone. Baitmate on the mediums now, that man at risk, but he is on a flying lap now on the soft tyre. Jump aboard with Fever, going across the hill, not the mountain. And setting fairly decent time as he goes.
Bit of a lock up through there.
Yeah, we jumped on board with him as he was just losing the rear slightly across one of the exit curbs just after the castle. He does set a purple sector 2. Goes past the Ferrari there of Crush on his in-lap. This is looking a pretty solid lap for Fever. Great shot from the side pod going through the mirror. Opens the DRS, you can hear the revs just get slightly louder with less drag on the car. Comes across the line, goes P3 with 138.281. Now just 1.1 second covers the top 15 here. So mega close.
Now Bait has been pushed out of the top 10.
Absolutely. Captain of Gold, our rookie, currently the man at risk. Jumping aboard with Baitmate, going through the final sector now. He's almost 8/10 up on his time. It's going to be good enough to put him up into P5. You'll be able to finish it off nice and strong. Comes across the line, and he goes P5, 138.378. 16 thousandths of a second behind Crush. And Potsy, the Mercedes, now at risk. It's going through sector 2 at the moment. Let's see what his split is as he comes down the bottom of the hill. Oh, I think he did hit the concrete wall there. I don't think I would have slowed him down too much. He's still 7.5 tenths up on his time. That's going to be almost pole. It goes purple in the second sector. Mikau retires from the session. He's had enough. He thinks that his 138.2 is safe. At the moment, that's about 6 tenths clear of the danger zone, so you may well be right there. A couple of minutes left. Not a lot of time to go. Potsy comes across the line, goes provisional pole with a 137.9. He's the first driver into the 37s in Tier 1 tonight. Great time from the Mercedes driver. T-Mac going through Sector 2 now. We've got every driver except Mikau and Sandeesi are on track.
I wonder how many tyres these guys have left.
I know.
You'd like to think the game would give him maybe another set, two sets.
He meant to get an extra set of softs if you make it through to Q3, but the fact that the drivers are considering using intermediates for Q1 shows just the game might not accurately reflect that, as we see Big Al giving T-Mac a tow. Alplan in action. I think he's probably too close. They're not actually going to get much of a tow, and I don't think...
Gold pushed out Endocat.
Absolutely, he's up to P6 now. T-Mac comes across the line, goes P4, and I think it worked, but it didn't look pretty.
Looked like there was a bit of a balk there as well, from the stream perspective.
Yeah, it looked like either Big Al lagged back into T-Mac a little bit, or there was a little brake check, but yeah, it was a bit of an interesting moment. Okay.
So Hero, Endocat, Simdogger, CSGO, and Combined YouTuber are all in the firing zone.
Yeah, Matt Cadabry there in P14 on the stream perspective. Simdogger comes across the line, it goes P4. Puts Geordie at risk now. Sandeezy down into the danger zone. Hero about to finish his next lap. And Hero sets a 37.7. So that's the second time we've seen in the 37s now.
Geordie then been pushed right down, and Bait is also in 10th position, so he's at risk.
He's in the pits as well, so he and Geordie are not going to have enough time to come out. So Geordie is out of qualifying. Baitmate at risk as Sandeezy, Andocat, Macadabri, and Combined YouTube are all on flying laps at the moment. We've got purple sector for Andocat in sector 2. It's going to be the first one to get the checkered flag out of those guys at risk. I think he had to have a little lift there. He just missed that apex slightly. Nearly went into the wall. Oh, and Big Al's got a 5-place grid penalty for blocking. I think that was on his teammate. And okay, goes P11. He's not able to get out of the danger zone, so he is out of qualifying. Matt Kadabri has invalidated, so he is out of qualifying. Combined YouTuber. Can he get a 138.3? He does a 138.4, so he's out of qualifying as well. Jumping on board with the Alfa Romeo Sandeezy, the only driver outside the top 10 to be on a flying lap. Every other driver is safe. They can come into the pits. And Sandeezy coming down the hill. 3.5 tenths up.
Off. That might be enough.
Ooh, it'll be close. It'll be close.
This would be very close.
Here we go. He needs a 38.377 or better. And I think he got it.
Made it. That pushes Bait out of the...
Yeah, he did it 138.233 according to his dash.
Yep. So Bait missed out by 0.02.
And I believe...
0.01.
Big Al got a 5-place grid penalty for illegal blocking, so I wonder if he was trying to give T-Mac a tow. And it might have been a collision there between the Alpine drivers, and Big Al will be starting no higher than 6th. So our drivers knocked out, a Baitmate, Andocat, Combined YouTuber, Geordie, and Matt Kadabri. And we get ready for Q3.
I wonder if the rain will come in Q3.
Who knows? It's only a 12-minute session here, so won't be too far away if it is. There we go. Drivers should have a couple of runs in this session. That'll determine our top 10. So we are expecting rain for the race, as we see Aston Martin and I think that's the McLaren coming out as well. It looks like the rain might hold off at least for one flying lap here and qualifying.
Let's see if we can... how many laps have done on a set of tyres. Looks like they might have just one set of softs remaining.
Yeah, I think some of the drivers were using their mediums up earlier in the qualifying sessions. That's just to try and keep some of the soft tyres ready for this final session, just to absolutely maximize all possible time they can get out of this track.
Definitely a hard one to strategize though, isn't it? Whether you save your tyres for the race, so you got a lot more opportunity in the race, considering that maybe quite a few safety cars, or do you go all out, try and get the front so you stay out of the mess, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely adds a new element to it, but I'm sure these guys have all spent most of the week kind of planning what they were going to do. Here we go. Simdogger will be the first to start a lap. He's in the Aston Martin. Opens up the DRS flap, and away we go. Moves right across onto the curb for turn 1, braking just before 100-meter board down into turn gear 3. Clips the inside apex and runs as wide as he can, braking just before the 100-meter board down into third, short shifting up to fourth before enabling DRS on this second DRS straight. A long run down here to turn 3. Just gonna have a little bit of traffic, hopefully they're aware of it. Braking at 100-meter board down to the third gear, short shifting up, running onto the curb. Carrying a lot of speed here. Oh, it clips that curb, it just unsettles the car slightly, runs a little bit wide. Shouldn't affect him too much. He's come to a tricky little left-hander here, and right-hander chicane, very tricky to hook up nicely, but he does a good job. That's down. Taking a lot of curb. Come into the castle section, getting closer to that Alpine. Very nice and tidy, carrying a lot of speed, avoiding the walls. And going across the top of the hill. He might get a little toe here from the Alpine driver. Just close enough. T-Mac jumps out of the way. Not interested in blocking anyone except his teammate. And Simdogger comes down the hill. And setting a pretty respectable Q2 time. And on the run to the checkered flag.
Looks like we've got Hero right behind him, setting us purple sector 2. That may be just the game though.
No purple sectors for Simdogger, so that might be correct. And 138.533 for Simdogger. Hero about to come across the line. 137.9 back into the 37s for the McLaren driver. Great time there. Got Big out across the line with a 38.1. As looks like there was a little bit of a toe there from T-Mac to help him out. Fever going to cross the line now for McLaren as well. 137.833. McLaren 1-2 at the moment. Oh, Captain of Gold for Alfa Romeo next across the line. There's P4, 138.272. His teammate comes across the line with a 39.3. And Mikau 37.9. For the Ferrari of Crush on a lap as well. Botzi on an out lap, going across the top of the hill. Opening up his DRS, and he comes across the line. P7, 38.686. Jumping on board with T-Mac now. I don't think the Alpine drivers are friends anymore. There's no toe for T-Mac from Big Al. Big wobble there. Yeah, he clipped the curb and nearly lost it into the wall. So, might not be the best time here from the Alpine driver. Comes across the line. P7, 38.574. So there's a little bit more time to find there for T-Mac. And we jump on board with the Mercedes driver of Potsy. Last driver to set a time. Everyone else coming back into the pits. Oh, apparently Ali says he's game froze, so very unfortunate for T-Mac, but he's very lucky not to have ended up in the wall, so buy a lotto ticket after this. Oh, Potsy touches the wall there. I don't think I had to slow him down too much, just to graze, but definitely pushing it to limits. He does go purple in Sector 1, so this is a very good time in front of the Mercedes driver. Remember, did not get a pole position at all last season. So is that going to change this time around? Through the castle section, very tidy and very fast.
There are some parts on the track where you can graze the wall and gain a little bit, but at the same time it's quite a huge risk.
Well, I remember in real life, the first pole position was from Nico Rosberg. He actually hit the wall in Sector 2 and still put the fastest time on, so it is somewhat realistic. You don't see it very much anymore.
Purple third sector from Potsy. Let's see what Potsy can do.
Oh, he might get a cheeky toe from the Ferrari driver here. I think they're going a bit too slow though. Crush pulling off to the left, get out of the way. Opens up the DRS. Comes across the line, and he goes provisional pole with 137.759 for the Mercedes driver. Great lap there from Potsy.
Reckon that's what we're going to be seeing from the drivers today? Or do you reckon they got another set of tyres up their sleeve?
Definitely to be another run. I don't think they're going to leave it to chance here. The track's going to be as rubbered in as it's going to get. We're seeing times in the mid 37s. I reckon everyone's going to have another go. We've got Big Al there for Alpine coming out for his next flying lap. So I think we'll see the others start to trickle out as well.
Top 5 are separated by 0.4 of a second, so top 2 are separated by 0.074. So, what's the latest they can leave the pit lane for this?
Well, if they're pushing on their out lap, 2-minute mark, maybe a little bit later, but it's, you don't want to push too hard because you'll take the life out of those tyres and run out of any grip before the end of your flying lap. Seb calling it now. If Potsy gets pole, he won't win the championship.
Well, either way, it's a great start to this season.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. Big Al on the back straight now. And commences his final run. Very tidy through turn 1. He's got a little bit of traffic coming out of the pits though. Sindonga stays out of the way, but there is now for Romeo in front of him. There's Sandeezy. Hopefully he's aware of the Alpine coming along. Looks like he pulls to the left side of the track, and yep, he's getting out of the way. He does have his DRS open though, so a little bit faster than I'm sure Big Al would have liked. Very tidy through turn 3 as well. A little bit of a graze on the wall there, but doesn't lose any time. Makes a little bit too much curb there on the inside. Kind of unsettled the car and pushes it wide again. And he's looking all right here. Sector 1 wasn't purple, but pretty respectable time. Coming into Sector 2 now. The castle section, ever treacherous. Oh, sorry, he's nearly lost the car. The rear stepped out on him there. He was turning the wrong way, going through the castle section, and again, he loses the rear on the exit curb. I don't think Big Al's going to improve here. A couple of big mistakes there. It looks like his teammate's going to give him a tow. Oh, he's hit the wall again. I think Big Al has absolutely bottled this lap. And we'll see the sector. He's still only slightly down on his time, so he might improve here with the tow. But remember, he does have that 5th-place grid penalty that his teammate gave him in Q2. So is he going to be able to improve? Getting a very, very nice tow here from T-Mac. And P5, 138.092, didn't even improve by a 10th. So unfortunately, Big Al, those mistakes across the top of the hill just costing him there. Got Captain of Gold getting a tow from his teammate Sandeezy here, going down the pit straight. And Captain of Gold, provisional pole, 137.724. We've got 45 seconds left in the session. As we see the McLaren starting their laps, we do have a Ferrari on an outlap as well. T-Mac is the next car that's going to cross the line at the time. Currently time to beat is a 37.724. Mega time there from Captain of Gold and the Alfa Romeo. Oh, a little lock up from T-Mac going into the castle section. You see he's carrying a lot less speed than his teammate was. And he looks like he's really screwed up his line there through the chicane after castle.
Potty's last to cross the line, so he will be concluding
Checkered flag is out. Oh, big lockup from T-Mac. I don't think he's going to improve here at all. And I think he's coming into the pits. He is. So Simdogger next across the line. Sets 138.097, improves by 4/10, but doesn't gain any positions. Going to jump on board with Sandeezy now, who has invalidated. I think Hero's the next to cross the line. Currently P4. Goes provisional pole with 137.669. FIBA up by 2/10 at the moment. That could be enough to get into the 37.5s. Is he going to do it? 37.630. He does go provisional pole. We've got the Ferrari of Crush. Is going to be across the line next. And 138.132 improves by half a second, but does not gain any places. Potsy will be the last across the line. He is down by 4.5 seconds. So FIBA will take pole position in the first round race for Tier 1 of Season 8. It will be a McLaren front row with his teammate lining alongside, and Captain of Gold will be behind them in P3.
Yeah, Potsy was doing pretty well, just in the castle section, lost it, and managed to collect it again, but he lost pretty much all his time through that.
There we go, and Sandeezy making a mistake as well there, 1.7 seconds off the pace, everyone else under 1 second behind. Look at those gaps, 0.039 of a second between FIBA and Hero, 0.094 to Captain of Gold, just over a tenth to Potsy and P4, and just 5 thousandths of a second separated Big Al and Simdogger there for P6. Very, very close times there at the pointy end of Tier 1. That's it for qualifying. And have this short break. About 30 seconds while the drivers get ready for the race. They'll be doing their strategy on the grid. And very, very exciting. But we are expecting a wet race. So all the tyre strategy goes out the window. This very treacherous circuit, it's all going to be about.
Very tight circuit too. So
exactly, just stay on the track. That's it. Just stay on the track and just hope that you're able to make it through.
I think lap 1 castle section is going to be interesting to see if anyone gives anyone any room.
Yes, it's. I wouldn't want to be alongside going into there. And there we go. Confirmation. There is rain in the pit lane.
Looks like light rain at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say it's just into conditions at the moment.
Wonder how quickly this track dries out, if it does end up drying out.
Yeah, we're not sure. We don't know how much rain there's going to be, definitely for the first few laps, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out.
Looks like the drivers are readied up, so we'll be starting the race very shortly.
Yes, so there will be a formation lap. Drivers will get used to the conditions, which I think in these wet conditions is going to be very, very helpful for them. And expect the times to be a fair bit slower as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some times around about the 2 minutes while they get to grips on this very wet circuit. And let's just have a look at the moment. S, they run on the intermediate tyres, so no surprises there at all. Let's jump on board with FIBA, see what the conditions are like as he goes on this outlap. Oh, his big lock up into turn 2. He's gone into the runner. Oh, he's in the runoff already. Oh, that's not a good start. I'm going to jump on board. Tamis is at the back. Let's see if everyone else makes the same mistake. Thankfully, it's not like real life, where he would probably have to start at the back of the field if he did that, but yeah, will be allowed to take his place at the front of the grid after this formation lap. Alright, back on board with FIBA.
It'll be interesting to see how much grip they got going through the castle section, because in the dry you're riding those curbs quite aggressively. So we'll see how much grip's on those. Oh, looks like we got a McLaren in castle section.
It's Hero. That's where he lost his front wing in Q1. hopefully, I don't see a repeat of that. So, got the AWS predicted pit stop strategy. Looks like it's an easy one stop on the intermediate tyres, pitting at the halfway mark of about 13 laps. Fiba goes for an overtake on Big Al there. Want a double lock up into the off-camber left-hander.
I've got a bit of few slow cars at the back.
Yeah, big gap there between FIBA and I think that's Big Al. Yeah. Got what's going on, but yeah,
Al is AI.
No, I don't think so. He's weaving. Oh, is he? AI has lost control. Big Al.
It's on stream, mate.
Yeah, I'll clip that one for a replay later, but yes, looked like he was weaving when the AI took over, and the AI just couldn't catch it and overcorrected and spun into the wall. Again, thankfully, it's not like real life. That would be it doesn't start if
yes.
if that happened, and pretty much everyone behind would have also not started. All right, here we go. Last couple of drivers forming up on the grid. We are just about ready to go. Those drivers at the front aren't stationary for too long. Don't want those tyres to get too cold. And here we go. Lights coming on. 5 red lights. And we're away. Very slow getaway in these wet, treacherous conditions. But looks like FIBA has maintained the lead. Oh, we've got a Haas going into the pit wall at the back. We've got FIBA and Hero side by side at turn 1. Keeping out of the wall. It looks like FIBA's got the inside line on the run into turn 2. He should stay in front here. But no, Hero is in front. Oh, and a big slide there from FIBA. And you can hear the wheel spin. And Hero does take the lead of the race. Captain of Gold following very closely behind. Batemate has left the session. I'm not sure if that's from a DNF or if he's just lost his internet connection.
More than likely internet, I believe. It's a bit unfortunate.
Looks very processional at the moment. We do have Eckham up 4 positions, 5 positions now, up to P13. Geordie up 3 as well. Looks like there's some tumbling down the order going there between Matt Cadabri and Pondon. Pondon getting past him, but Matt Cadabri, a little bit of a collision there. And dropping down the order some more as we see the Haas there of Trin trying to make a bit of a dive on the Mercedes. We go through the castle section, looking pretty safe so far. I think it's a 2x2. Sandesi and T-Mac going side by side through the castle section. I don't know how they managed that, but they managed to keep their front wings intact.
Well, it looks like everyone's done well to...
Absolutely, but it looks like T-Mac might be having a go on the inside. Oh, as we see, Sandesi has just lost his front wing. Oh, his wing flying all the way down the hill there, and we have a virtual safety car.
Commentator's curse.
Oh, I was busy looking behind. See, we'll have another look at that one. Let's bring up the instant replay. And you can see...
It's quite a big hit.
Absolutely, they were side by side going into that off-camber turn.
Looks like he may have just locked up and did it by himself by the looks of it.
Yeah, he was in front. I was looking at the Red Bull and the Alpine going side by side, and he's just overshot and ended up straight into the wall. So, yeah, very unfortunate. He peels off into the pits. And this virtual safety car is still in force, so he'll get a slightly cheaper pit stop as he gets that front wing replaced, but unfortunately for him, that is not going to be helpful for his race strategy at all. We go, got a new nose, and should get out of the pits before we go back to green flag racing. So he has had that entire pit stop covered by the virtual safety car, so he hasn't lost as much time as you normally would. Very lucky for him.
Quite a gap between FIBA and Mika, don't we? 3 seconds.
Yeah, 3.5 seconds already, and there's a gap as well of 4 seconds between T-Mac and Big Al, so maybe it's part of Al's plan. to have T-Mac hold up the half the field just to protect him a little bit, but at the moment there's a big gap there as we go back to green flag racing and a shocking restart for Heroes. Bieber goes past just before the castle section and he's through. Bieber absolutely switched on for that restart and he retakes the lead. Are we in the chat saying Al's plan is mud? Just following Mikau now. Just heading off an attack from Potsy at the moment. Got a little train here from P3 down to P8. Looks like Captain of Gold has lost out a couple of positions there since the start. He was looking pretty good as we see Potsy sizing up Mikau on the pit straight. Pulls to the inside. Is he going to make a lunge? Looks like he's far enough alongside, and he gets the move done. A little bit of a switchback from Mikau though. How's the traction going to be on the inside of the circuit? Looks like it's pretty good. He gets back in front of the Mercedes, who's a bit later on the brakes. Tries around the outside. Has to get right out of the throttle though, but still going. But Mikau looks like he's got the better traction there and is into P3.
Yeah, another dive by Posse maybe? Nope. Mikau's covering.
Oh, big slide from Potsy as well, following Mikau's dirty air.
One of those tracks where you just need to get ahead of someone, otherwise you're trapped for majority of the track.
Absolutely. We see Artanis and Apollo Pepsi battling it out for P17. Hassen, the Alpine, not the Alpine, Williams. They always get them mixed up. So Pepsi's managed to get on top though. Oh, so we got, I think that's someone in the wall. Yes, we've got Hero in the wall, and it's at the castle section. I'm going to jump on board with Combine. You can see, yeah, he's just got it completely beached there. The rest of the grid is able to get through, but there is a full safety car now.
That was pretty close.
So Hero has bottled it on his own. He's lost his entire front wing. We do have a full safety car, so Sandeezy's going to be very, very happy with that. Baitmate as well has just rejoined the session, so hopefully he's all good to go.
A Hero that just overtook under safety car?
Well, I think it's hard to tell. He was recovering from an incident, so a few drivers got through while he was doing that. And I think Trin might have had an illegal overtake because Hero was back on the racing line when he went through. So it's all sorted itself out. And I think Trin...
Very hard with the way this game works.
I think Trin also really wants to get past him because he's got no front wing going through the very tight and twisty final sector. And I don't think he fancies... as Hero hits the wall again.
Bounces a fall.
I don't think Trin fancies being behind him because he doesn't want to get the DNF.
Definitely not. No front wing on the left, right, down the back straight is a very, very scary experience.
Absolutely. So I think Hero's the only one to come into the pits there. I'm just going to jump on board Stand Easy, make sure he's coming through as well. And he is. Wait, I'm not sure if he's back in or not. He's staying out though, so he should regain that time lost. Hero might actually peel out in front of Baitmate here. He's only just turning into turn 1 now, and I think, yeah, Hero's back on track, so not quite dead last after losing that front wing, but yeah, those treacherous conditions costing him a ton of places. So we've got safety car now, and lap 4 of 26 here at Baku in Tier 1, round 1 of Season 8. And I don't imagine it'll be out for too long. The rest of the field not too far behind, and being in the wet weather, I think it'll be going a little bit slower. As we see the sun starting to come out, so I don't reckon the wet weather's going to be with us for too much longer there. As we are coming up the hill through the castle section there, we saw sun breaking through the clouds. And still raining quite steadily, but not too heavy, so should have a few more laps under wet conditions at least. Do let us know if anyone in the chat has any updated information for us. Oh, Apollo Pepsi 5-second penalty. Severe collision with Andocat, the tier 2 rivals from last season. They can't stay away from each other. Looks like Pepsi picks up the first penalty of the evening in tier 1. Psycho reporting that rain is here to stay, so we're not expecting any dry running for tier 1. We're going around for another lap of safety car. So waiting for Baitmate to catch the back of the train. I do think he has left the session again. Unfortunately, his internet has been unstable this evening. Hopefully he's able to get that all sorted out before we go to green flag racing.
Pretty hard to keep your tyres warm under these sort of conditions too.
Absolutely.
The first lap is a bit touch and go.
So it looks like Pepsi might have broken his wing on the back of Endercat there. He's coming to the pits, and I think he might be serving... Did he serve that 5-second penalty?
On my screen, it looks like he may have.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the symbol. No, he's cleared it, so... It's another funny thing about the game, like, you can serve a 5-second penalty in the pits under safety car conditions, even though you're not meant to in real life, so... Smart play by Pepsi to clear that penalty, but, yeah, technically you're not meant to be able to do that.
Sometimes the game doesn't let you do it even during the race, so...
Yeah, it's a bit odd sometimes, but yeah, it's Cody's for you. Hopefully he's able to catch the back of the train before safety car goes past the pit entrance. We don't want another lap of safety car racing, but we'll see how we go. Have a quick look at the winners and losers so far for the race. We've got Mikau up 3 positions, so great start from him. We've got Big Al up 4 positions, Geordie up 5. Ekim up 7 positions in the P11. Great start from him. Pondon up 5, Trin up 6, Tanis up 4 as well. Biggest loser, of course, Hero there, dropping down 16 positions since the start of the race. Very unfortunate for him to lose that front wing in the castle section. We've also got Sandeezy down 8 positions, Baitmate down 9. Apollo Pepsi down 4, and a Cat down 3, and Captain of Gold down 1 as we get the confirmation that safety car is in this lap. Apollo Pepsi has caught the safety car train as they start to come down the hill. So, Bieber now takes control of the pack as they let the safety car head away from the pack. So we'll jump on board with the McLaren driver now. Keep an eye on his restart and see when he goes. Sitting just under that 100km/h limit, weaving and weaving, trying to warm up those tyres. And he's gone. That's it. He's away. And he's caught Mikau napping. Potsy's got a little bit of overlap there on Mikau, but he does slot in behind. Yeah, they're going to run into turn 1. We've got a few cars going very, very close behind. We've got Geordie and T-Mac side by side. Geordie moves up in between the Alpine sandwich. As we see Big Al making a move on Simdog. Oh, Simdog is in the wall. The Aston Martin grazing the wall there at turn 2. Not sure if he's picked up any damage from that, but he's now getting swallowed up by Geordie as well. Red Bull goes through.
Definitely a lot of rubbing down the back of the pack there.
Yeah, we've got Trin clearing Matt Cadabri as well. They come into turn 3. Trin holds the inside line, but the Red Bull able to find a little bit more grip around the outside, and that'll hold the inside for the next corner, but no, Trin is able to maintain position there. Got Ekim grazing the wall as well. The Aston Martin's just not able to stay away from the concrete.
Hero's done well. He's up 5 positions after the restart.
Absolutely great restart from him. Back up to leaders. Potsy all over the back of Mikau as they go through the castle section. Ooh, as Mikau nearly touches the wall there at castle. And Potsy basically pushing him up the hill now.
Yeah, Potsy's been trying to get past Mikau all race so far.
A pretty tidy restart this time around. Potsy pulling away from Captain of Gold's over 1 second now. Starting to see a few groups form. We've got Simdogger holding up another little train to about just over 2 seconds behind Geordie. As we see Potsy making a move on Mikau down the pit straight. He's pulled out of the slipstream and he loses a little bit of pace there. Mikau on the outside has to yield to the Mercedes. He's going to get a switch back. He does get a little bit more grip than the Mercedes. He's gone on the inside of turn 3, but he backs out, lets Potsy have it. Potsy runs a little bit deep, nearly going into the wall, and Mikau's got a good run. Potsy trying to force him to the outside of the track. And Mikau gets the job done. Still covering the inside, though, trying to prevent Mercedes getting the move again, but I think Mikau's got it this time. He's left the door open slightly, but he has positioned the car well in the middle of the track. And makes it too difficult for Potsy to get the move done. So we've got Matt Cadabry's come out of the pits. He must have had a little bit of wing damage from that restart. He's dropped off the back of the field, 22 seconds. That's the gap between him and Sandesi. See again, Potsy so close to the gearbox of Mikau. Comes through the castle section. It looks like he is carrying a lot more speed through there than the Alpha Tauri. Mikau just seems to always get back in front in that second DRS straight. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. We got anyone in the castle section? No. Looks like it's all good.
If that's so good.
Oh, some wing flying there.
Yeah, it looked like Combined may have hit the wall as well.
Oh, and he's just...
Safety car?
We've got another virtual safety car. What was that? That was Sandesi completely cutting the corner and nearly hitting Potsy there.
Let's have a look, see if anyone's got any end plates.
Just gonna have a quick look at that replay again while we've got this virtual safety car. There's a bit of debris on the track, so have another look. And yeah, the Alpha just completely missed his braking mark there and nearly hit the Alpha Tauri into the concrete wall, so very, very close there.
I'm showing a full safety car.
Yes, it is upgraded to a full safety car, so we've got another one. The safety car has come out.
Who's
oh,
that?
T-Mac's out. T-Mac has crashed out on the twisty sections in sector 3, yeah.
So maybe he lost a bit of wing and that was the end of that?
He had a broken wing and he just carrying a bit too much speed. And he's just lost it into the wall, so we have another safety car.
And it's only lap 8.
Absolutely. It's a wet race as well, so hopefully we don't run over time. We've got tier 2 straight after this at 8:30 PM Melbourne time. Hopefully it's all good. Matt Cadabry has got to drive through penalty for speeding under safety car, so his race has just gone from bad to worse. He's down there in P18. And the person behind him is Sandesi, who I think has got a new wing after his antics up on the hill in sector 2. So Hero's made it back up to P10 after that, in between those safety cars. So
it's quite
very, very good effort from him.
They're all going to bunch up again, so he's going to have...
Absolutely, he seems to do really, really well with all the traffic. But ironically, it was
over in New Zealand, so I think he's
absolutely
got a bit of experience there.
Unfortunately, it was when he was in the relative clean air of P1, P2 that he just unfortunately aquaplaned into the wall at Castle. But I think he might be able to recover from that without too much lost time. Safety car's just sitting at the exit of turn 2, waiting for Bill to catch up. So we've got Mikau and Big Al coming into the pits. Simdogger as well.
So Hero's got 3-lap-old Inters, so it looks like he may have a bit more fresh. Oh, Mikau's pits, yeah. Quite a few people pitting, actually.
Yeah, it's close enough to the halfway mark of the race. They may be able to get to the end here on these intermediate tyres.
I think they can.
Oh, we got a Williams double stack here. This is going to hurt Artanis a lot, and it may actually block up. No, Trin was able to get through, so thankfully they've updated the game to allow us to prevent double stacks from blocking the previous pit bay, so it's a good addition to the game there. As Artanis up into P17, but lost a little bit of time there. It still comes in front end of Matt Cadabri and Sandeezy.
We've got CSGO with a drive-through penalty, and that's the only penalties we have on the grid so far. So McDabry with a drive-through, still to serve.
Yeah, Polypepsi obviously serving that penalty in the pits under safety car last time, and he's up into P10, so he has benefited quite well out of all that, so very well done to him.
Well, it looks like Hero's up at 7th now, so he's definitely gotten lucky there, as well as a good drive to get to that position.
Yeah, I think with some of the leaders pitting for fresh set of intermediates under the safety car, it's helped him regain some of those positions that he lost with that wing damage. But yeah, he's doing quite well. But I suspect he will have to pit again. Although, oh no, it's still raining. Okay, some of the off-board shots, it looks like it's not raining anymore, but it is most definitely still drizzling.
I do believe you can do a whole race on inters.
Okay.
But I don't think we've seen anyone do it yet.
So again, Sandeezy catching the safety car train just at the wrong moment, so we will be having another lap of the safety car. We should be back to green flag racing next time around. Eckham and Artanis changing positions there. I'm not sure what that was all about. One of them maybe...
One of those Codemaster glitches.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You can have someone right behind you and be asked to either go ahead of them or give the person behind you the spot back.
Yeah, it might have just been like an aquaplaning moment and one's gone past the other, or it could have just been, yeah, just a glitch. Sometimes that happens. This wonderful game that we play.
Yeah, it looks like the rain's getting a little bit heavier. Just with a bit of spray that's coming off the cars.
Smitty says, nah, he just sent it.
Right, safety car should be in this lap. Let's see if we can get through turn 1, turn 2 okay. A few people fresh into this. 16 laps to go.
Absolutely, there we go. Lights are out. Safety car is in this lap. Back on board with Fever as he starts weaving to try and generate some temperature into those tyres. Got Potty right behind him. Looking forward to claiming another championship this year.
And the safety car is in pit lane now.
There we go. Fever again, sitting kind of between 90 and 100 k's per hour. Weaving, generating some temperature. And here we go, he's away. A lot of wheel spin though, but I think he's just about got the jump on Potsy there. Now have a look at this. Crush has got a mega run on Captain of Gold. They're side by side before they cross the start-finish line. And Is he going to try and go for a move around the outside? We've got some movers and shakers a bit further down. Combined dropping a couple of positions. Mikau and Hero. But Crush runs a little bit deep up onto the curb. And Captain of Gold's able to get back in front. Some movers and shakers down the further back as well. Trin and Simdogger. We've got Apollo Pepsi making some gains as well on Baitmate. As Baitmate loses a spot to Big Al as well. Simdogger trying to have a look around the outside of Trin, but there's just no group out there. Has to yield. But Tannis as well gets past Ekim down in 16th, which seemed easy there. Getting a move on Ekim. Looks like he's been able to unlap himself with that safety car.
We got McDabry. Do you reckon he'll be in this lap for serving the drive?
I think he'll have to. I think he's got 3 laps to do it, so you may as well do it now. Ekim looking very punchy there in P17. Jump back up to the front. Looks like Potsy still sticking with Fever, but Captain of Gold's dropped off a little bit. He's got Crush all over him. Putting a ton of pressure on the Alfa Romeo driver.
Got Hero all over the back of Geordie at the moment. Wonder if Hero make a move turn 1.
Oh, and the Ferrari's the wall. Crush has gone into the wall. Geordie goes for a run down the hill past him. I think that Ferrari's missing an end plate. No, he's still got both of them, but I dare say he's probably got a little bit of damage there. Hero now looking to get past the Red Bull. Oh, the Ferrari, sorry. And I think he's going a little bit slow. A little lift there from the Ferrari. He's definitely got some wing damage.
Yep. Is he going to pit?
He's peeling off to the left. Hero
Yep.
able to get the move done. The Ferrari comes into the pits. Mikau and Hero gain those places. Hero under a bit of pressure from Mikau as well, but he's right on Geordie's gearbox too, so...
Giving Geordie a bit of a push. Got a massive train from P8 to P13.
Yeah, jumping on board with Big Al. Got the move done on Endocat up into P8. Yeah, you're right. From combined down, there's a train forming. Ekim trying to get past Artanis, but can't quite get it done. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Ekim is out. He's crashed in the castle section. We have another safety car. Oh, dearie me.
3 that you can have per race, is that correct?
No, I think the maximum combined of safety car and virtual safety car is 6.
Okay.
His car has been cleared, so I'm able to get through without too much drama. But yeah, this is going to be a long one. So we're almost halfway through the race, and yeah, had 3 safety cars.
What's our fastest lap times? 1:52. So we've got another 14 laps. So another 28 minutes worth of racing, plus safety car.
Well, we've got a number of drivers in the pits now. We got Potsy, Captain of Gold, Geordie combined, Ando, Baitmate, Hero, Macadabri is coming in as well. All onto fresh intermediate tyres. So Hero dropped all the way down to 15th now with that extra pit stop. And he's just in front of Crush.
I think he knows he's got the pace. He's still got 14 laps to work his way up there again. So I think fresh Inters is probably the safest bet, just to guarantee extra grip.
I just don't know if that was the right decision, because he's lost a lot of track position that he's just made up, because Bieber pit as well. And I'm pretty sure they had to double stack, and Hero would have lost out being the second positioned McLaren. So I don't know, he was on the freshest intermediates out of most of the leaders, so I
Yeah.
would have thought he could have stayed out a little bit longer.
Maybe a bit of bad communication.
Possibly, or maybe he just thought that the lost track position he could make up. Which, I mean, we've seen him do it in the first half of the race. Certainly not impossible, but going to be very difficult to do again.
This gives McDabry a good chance to catch up, actually. Now
Yes.
this served his drive-through penalty.
Yeah, Sand Easy as well. Gonna regain some of that time.
So safety car in next lap. And we're off to racing again.
Yeah, so thankfully the safety car looks like it's not going to be out for as long as the previous two. It'd be nice if we can get a clean run to the end of the race. Ali reporting 10 more minutes of rain. So it's about 5 laps. We should see, hopefully, an improvement to conditions.
I think we might see 2 or 3 laps dry conditions, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon around about lap 20 we might see people chuck on the softs and try and go to the end from there. So that's going to spice things up nicely.
I can only imagine everyone's fuel load is through the roof now.
Absolutely. And it's not like you can just run it in rich for a few laps, given that's not a thing anymore.
I think there's only one thing you can do now is ride the brake and accelerate through the corners.
Absolutely.
But that comes with a risk factor as well.
Alrighty. Almost back under green flag racing. We'll jump up to Mika, who leads this race now. From Big Al, Apollo Pepsi, Trin. So Haas, 3-4. Very
They started,
good result.
they started last, I believe.
Yeah, Apollo Pepsi up 13 positions, Trin up 15 positions. So absolutely mega drive from those two. As we do get confirmation the safety car is in this lap, and we are just about to get ready for green flag racing. So Mikel doing a slightly faster restart than Bieber, sitting around 130, and away he goes. I think Big Al was onto him, and he has indeed. Looks like there's a little bit of overlap back there with Tannis. Looks like nearly got the move done on his teammate there, Pondent.
Looks like Mika's.
Oh, as we see, a bit of a dive there from Feber up the inside of Artanis. And to run very deep. Looks like the Haas's have changed positions as well. They have. And Artanis just running a bit deep too. Losing the place to Potsy. And now under a lot of pressure from Captain of Gold, who's in P10.
Weaver going for a dive on Pondon now.
Yeah, we see it just there in the foreground. Managed to keep it clean, but a big slide from Feber as Captain of Gold does get through Artanis up into P9. Geordie getting past him as well, so Artanis really struggling in these conditions.
Ooh, big dive from Feber.
Yeah, Feber doing really well, getting back up to P6. Potsy as well, P7. Pondon going backwards too.
Hero's back up to 13th. That's a pretty good jump.
Yeah, solid restart from him as I come through the castle section now. Lovely wing cam of Potsy going through that castle section. Nice and tidy. Keeping his nose clean.
Looks like Trin and Apollo are keeping it clean.
Oh, both grazing the wall.
Yeah.
The exit of the corner there, but not any damage caused. Hero losing the place to Anakaz. 3 wide as they're coming down the hill. Looks like Crush has got the position. And Andocat still battling Hero, who's now under pressure from Sandeezy, who's making his way back up through the field after a shocking start to the race. And now up to 15th place. Gets the move done on Hero. Oh, he has a bit of a wobble, and he's in the wall. Hero's in the wall. I don't know if he's picked up any wing damage there. It looks like he's missing a left end plate.
Ooh.
And I think he'll have to come in. He is positioning himself to the left-hand side of the track, and he is coming into the pit. So very unfortunate there. He just understeered in the dirty air of Sandeezy, and that was enough to send him into the concrete barrier.
8 mate in the pits as well.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Might have picked up some wing damage as well. I did see him changing positions a little bit across the top of the hill, so I wonder if he's just had a little bit of an understeer moment. Bieber looks like a man on the mission here. He's behind both the horses, but he is carrying so much speed at the moment, and he's not afraid to go for a very late, dramatic move. I think he's sizing up Apollo Pepsi here. Very nice run. He's going for the inside. He's going for the move, taking a lot of curb. Pepsi giving him the space. They're side by side. Please don't tell me to go through to the castle section side by side. They decide to back out, but Pepsi and Potsy nearly going side by side through castle, but they sorted out. Pepsi's still in front of the Mercedes, but I don't think it'll be for much longer. He runs very wide, so does Simdogger. Probably picking up warnings there. Very nice racing here for FIBA. He's almost back up onto the podium. Unfortunately, his teammate down in 17th after getting that wing replaced. Thank you, Keeper, for the sub. 17 months in a row. Absolute legend.
We're about to change spots.
Absolutely. We're seeing FIBA going for a move on Trent on the pit straight now, as Potsy also gets past Apollo Pepsi. And he's got the move done. FIBA up to 3rd. Nice sort of move. Captain of Gold on Geordie for P9. Still side by side though. The Red Bull down the inside. Oh, Alfa Romeo's still got his nose in it. Oh, he's had a little bit of a kick up the bum from Artanis. They say Artanis might have picked up a little bit of wing damage there. There's a big hit on the diffuser of the Alfa Romeo. They come through the castle section. Very slippery. You can see a lot of spray, but there is still that sunshine just above the castle. We might see an end to this range shortly. We were expecting it to stop around about lap 20. Should give everyone about 6 laps of dry racing if the forecast is correct. Jump up to Trin and Potsy as... Oh, actually, I'm going to jump up to Mick Al and Big Al as Big Al takes the lead of the race. Bieber there in the background closing in on them at a rapid rate of knots. Potsy has got the move done on Trin. Haas's, after the restart, dropping down to 5th and 6th after starting 2nd and 3rd. Or 3rd and 4th, I think it might have actually been, but Fortunately, it just don't have the pace, and they are on older tyres compared to a lot of the guys around them. And Cat and Combined YouTube are running side by side now through turn 2. Looks like the Ferrari's got the better run though. Quickly cuts across to the inside to defend the Mercedes. Oh, and squeezes him a little bit just before the turning point. And Cat having to get right out of the move. Combined YouTuber stays in P13.
Up in 4th spot, Potty's going through corners sideways at the moment, so he's allowed the Hasses to catch right back up.
And he's 4 seconds behind FIBA as well, so either he just does not have the pace in these conditions, or he might have a little bit of front wing damage. I haven't had a good offboard shot yet. Looks like his wing's intact, but he's understeering quite a bit. I did note, I think he hit the wall at some point after that safety car restart. I wonder if he's just picked up a little bit of damage that might hamper him for the rest of the race, at least until we get to the dry period, which I'm told is now 5 minutes away. Nice little battle pack forming here for P5. Trina, Apollo, Pepsi, Sindogger, Pondon. Oh, it goes all the way down to P12. No DRS at the moment, given it is still wet conditions, so it's all got to be on merit as we see Geordie and Pondon trading places. And looks like Captain of Gold's trying to have a little bit of look on Pondon as well. He runs a little bit deep though into turn 1. I'll have to wait just a little bit longer to get that move done. Atanas closing in on the back of him, same as Crush. Combined not too far behind. So FIBA inside half a second behind Mikau. Let's battle the final 3 places. Going down to the wire. Apparently Mikau's been a little bit better with his ERS management than FIBA, who's burnt a lot of it trying to close the gap up to the leaders.
I wonder if it comes down to the last lap, who's got the most ERS.
Absolutely, and it could also depend on what happens with this strategy. We might get a similar situation to Brazil last season, where we had drivers not switching to slicks and costing them the race win. I think that was FIBA as well. It looked like he made the right call.
Yeah, no, definitely made the right call. I think Potty might be up there as well, depending on how the track evolution is with the weather.
A bit of a change of paces for Geordie and Simdogger. Simdogger looks like he might have let Geordie through here. He's going to get the toe all the way down the pit straight. Oh, Geordie, very loose there through the S's. He had to get right out of the throttle. You could see the rear of the car just absolutely fishtailing. Managed to keep it out of the wall, did exceptionally well, but it's like Simdogger coming into the pits. Aston Martin got any damage, or is he deciding slicks?
I think we're going to see some slick runners here.
Oh, things are getting spicy now.
The rain has stopped on some corners.
I'm still getting a little bit, but you're right, it has definitely eased off a lot, but there's no way that it's ready for slicks. There's still standing water on the track.
Yep. Definitely a lot less spray.
This has shifted up a gear. Absolutely. Those guys might have pulled a master trap. They are going onto the softs, so here we go. Getting into the crossover period. What will the leaders do?
Let's follow Simdogger.
So he's coming out of the pits at P14. So just behind Hero, so 3.5 seconds. So let's keep an eye on that gap. Make sure, well, it's going up by a couple of tenths every 100 meters or so. So at 10, that's not the right decision just yet, but it can't be too far away. And I guess if you're outside the points anyway, probably worth the gamble at the moment. Yeah, definitely.
I think we'll probably see it in about 2 laps time. That'll be the prime time to
definitely, yep,
do the swap over. Looks like Bates heading across the slicks as well. That's correct. Let's see if front runners pit for slicks.
Yeah, I'm not getting any rain on the screen anymore across the hill, so think track is
See,
going to
this
get better
lap
and
or
better.
next lap? Yep.
Sibdogger is losing time to Hero still, so I don't think it's quite time for slicks, but as you said, should be within the next lap or two. Jumping up to FIBA is getting a move on Mikau. We've got a yellow flagging up for Romeo. I think Sandeezy has crashed in Sector 2. As FIBA has got the move done on Mikau. He's up into P2. Just one car in front of him. He'll be pretty desperate to start this season with a win. Yeah, the gap between Hero and Simdogger now nearly 15 seconds, so track's still too wet for slicks, but it's getting close.
FIBA really close to Big L now. Wonder if FIBA can take victory.
I think he can at this pace. He's on fresher intermediate tyres compared to Big Al, so I don't think pace is going to be a problem at all. Just whether or not Big Al can just position the car nicely in the positions that matter. There's no DRS to help FIBA here, so if he can just manage the ERS and just position the car up in really nice defensive positions, he may still be able to hold on to this win, but FIBA is just looking unstoppable at the moment. He's already pulled a second gap on Mikau.
I wonder if they do actually pit. Going to be a
Yeah, well, like
the leader, I believe.
Like I was saying before, we saw at Brazil what happens if you try and stay out on intermediate tyres on a drying track. It seems like the right idea for the first few laps, but very quickly drops off, and you'll be basically the reverse of what we're seeing between Hero and Simdogger.
Not pitting this lap. Maybe next.
No, looking at the times between Simdogger and Hero, still kind of sitting around, 24 seconds and increasing. Just lost all that deltas because Sandeezy left and rejoined the lobby, but jumping back on board with Trin. Trin is in the pits. So is Potsy. We're seeing slicks and a new wing going onto Potsy's car, so he definitely had wing damage. So I was correct. That hit against the wall was enough to just chip a little bit of wing. And we're seeing Trin getting a set of slick tyres as well onto the softs, so he thinks it's crossover time now. And this is going to be interesting. Apollo Pepsi staying out on the intermediate, so Haas deciding to split their strategy is Trin with a big Baku drift there out of the pit lane. Let's keep an eye on that delta time to Andercat. It's currently at 9 seconds, so we'll see if that improves.
The leaders are coming up on lap traffic.
Absolutely. We've got Combined and Macadabri battling it out for P8. Red Bull doing exceptionally well. I think he's actually gained 7 positions. Combined doing well as well, up 4 positions, but interesting to see. We've got a yellow flag in the castle section. Alfa Romeo
got out the way.
Oh, I don't think he got out of the way so much as he locked up went into the runoff. But he's kept it out of the wall, I believe, so good for him. Still waiting for a few deltas to come back, but we do have Combined and Macadabri going through castle.
Still no DRS, I believe.
Not yet. That's usually the call from the game to say that the deltas are essentially in that crossover period. Yep. Just looking at the times, Trin is 4 seconds to Hero. And increasing by a few tenths every couple of seconds. Ooh, we've got a yellow flag. Looks like I think Sandeezy again might have just gone into the wall there, coming down the hill. So yeah, track really not drying up as quickly as we would have liked. There's another yellow flag at Sector 1, Turn 1. As Trin has picked up a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Where has he gone and done that?
May have been exit of going down the hill.
Yeah, he's let Potsy go through. Oh, he's got no front wing. Oh, ooh. Trin has lost his front wing.
Has Hero hit the wall?
Hero has. He's pointing the wrong way. He's doing a flick turn at one of the most dangerous parts of the track. Oh, it's pretty crazy at the moment. Looks like Potsy's gone through on slick tyres. Macadabri coming in for soft tyres as well. 3 laps to go. This is starting to spice up. I haven't seen DRS be enabled yet, so it still should technically be a wet track. And just look at the delta time between Combined and Potsy. It looks like he is gaining time on Combined now, so I think we are in that crossover period. On the straights, though, he's losing time to combine, so that suggests to me it still is an inter-track.
This is going to be interesting to see which one of the leaders are going to pit first.
Absolutely.
Or
We've got FIBA just 0.4 of a second behind Big Al. Mikal 1.3 seconds behind FIBA. Polo Pepsi is dropped off 13 seconds to Mikal. We've got a yellow flag at turn 1. Looks like Heroes had a spin coming out of the pits.
That's correct.
Unfortunately for the McLaren.
Yeah, I'll probably at this stage, it looks like it's going to be Inters all the way.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling. The track is just not draining as quickly as I would have expected. But we see FIBA got looking very, very quick. Back of the Alpine, he goes for the move around the outside. Ooh, pressed the wrong button. And FIBA is in the lead. Miguel settling for P2 at the moment. We've got another yellow flag. Looks like Heroes having more troubles in Sector 2. Really does not look like this track is ready for slicks. Trin has actually come into the pits and put Inters back on. He's 25 seconds behind Matt Cadabry. Keep an eye on him just in case. Keep an eye on him just in case he comes back into the points. Just going to jump back as we see Captain of Gold and Andocat battling it out at turn 1. And combined YouTuber amongst it as well.
We've got a wing off from Hero in Castle section.
Yeah, Potsy's losing time to combined at the moment on those slick tyres, so it is not good condition at the moment. Trin has lost his wing again! Oh, Trin! Oh, and Hero's out!
DNF'd.
Hero is out!
Had no front wing coming to that corner and hit the wall on the outside.
Holding my breath for the safety car. I don't think we're going to get one.
I think
not impossible, but we could get one.
At best, I think we'll get a VSC.
DRS is enabled, so there's the crossover to slicks. And Potsy is closing the gap to combine now. You can see that delta improving, but he's 21 seconds behind him. He's going to be able to catch that up in 3 laps. It's a big, big ask. Poor Trin. Really not turning out to be his day.
See what the leaders do. Are they going to pit?
Absolutely.
They're going to continue. They've only got 2 laps after crossing the finish line left. Do you get that time up your sleeve?
I'm expecting Mick out of pit. He's got a 14-second gap to Apollo Pepsi. He doesn't really have much to lose here. Whereas Big Al... No,
Big Al's pitted.
Mick Al stays out. Big Al's pit. Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. Apollo Pepsi's on the straight now. I think we've got a Ferrari as well as coming into pit for softs too.
And we've got a bit of spray.
Big Al coming out of the pit lane now as Apollo Pepsi goes around turn 1. So Big Al filters out behind Apollo Pepsi and Geordie, so he's within DRS range of Geordie here. So as long as he keeps it on the drying racing line, he should be able to get those positions back. It's just, he's now 14, 15 seconds behind Mikau, and he's only got a lap and a half to catch him. It's going to make it very, very difficult. So he may have actually thrown away P2 here. This is why I thought Mikau... I wonder if maybe Mikau was going to do the opposite of Big Al. I think Mikau had nothing to lose because he was going to be faster than Geordie and Pepsi, but I think Big Al's just thrown away P2 there.
The gap is still getting bigger between Mikau and Polo, so I think Inter's still a safe...
Yeah, but Pepsi is also on 19-lap-old Inters, so he's definitely been on those for too long. Big Al's already got past Geordie. He's all over the back of Apollo Pepsi here.
So really, for the fast lap, they just need to be at least 14 seconds faster than them.
Yeah. Here we go. Gonna have a look into this. No, he's gonna wait just a little bit longer. It definitely looks like a soft conditions now. Potsy's up into P8 now. And Big Al's got the move done on Apollo Pepsi. But he's now got 15.5 seconds to Mikau with only 1 lap remaining. I don't think he's going to get that position.
See those Inters struggling now.
Yeah, Big Al already under 15 seconds to Mick out, but that's a lot of time to find in one lap.
One lap.
That's it, he's found a second in one straight alone.
Must be just because he can put the power down. And mid-corner speed with the grip.
I mean, the only thing I think at this point that's going to help him is if Mikau makes a mistake or gets caught up in something else. But he has gone purple in the first sector, Big Al. 2 seconds up on his delta, and looking at that gap between him and Mikau, it is nearly down 2 seconds in that one sector. Still sliding around a lot. It doesn't look great. Keeps it nice and tidy through the castle section. Oh, he's found another second there on Mikau. Definitely the slicks are much faster than the intermediates at the moment, but he's got 12 seconds to find and he's running out of corners. Found another half a second across the hill. And another half a second coming down the hill, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. As we see Fever coming down the pit straight here, doing a little bit of a weave. Oh, he might get pinged for the pit entry exit. But he comes across the line. And Potsy's retired at the castle, but Fever has won. Mikau comes across the line in P2. Big Al, it was the right idea, but I just don't think he had enough time to do it. One more lap, it might have been interesting, but comes across the line. 10-second gap to Mikau.
The fastest time.
Absolutely. Gets the point for fastest lap. Apollo Pepsi across the line 4th. Geordie 5th. Oh, we've got Ponder coming across the line 6th. Oh, Endercat's out. Both Mercedes are out on the final lap.
Lost the end plate corner beforehand and then locked up brakes, went straight into the wall. Captain
of Gold comes across the line P7. Combined YouTuber will come across the line in P8. He's just got a couple more corners to go. He's got no front wing as well. Ferrari with the incredibly streamlined setup. No, it's just decided to glitch on and off again. So maybe the Ferrari's running some sort of camouflage livery.
Then you are.
I had no idea. He keeps losing his front wing and then getting it back again. But he is P8. Artanis should come across the line P9 from here. Alright, Artanis. Solid drive from him. Comes across the line in P9. There he goes with a spectacular crash as well. For good measure, Macdabry crossing in P10. Uses up all of his deploy as well. Trin, unfortunately, has had a big spin. Simdogger goes through. Again, Trin is missing his front wing. Tell you what, he's gone through more front wings than Nikita Mazepan did. And he lasted a lot longer than that half seat. So hopefully, Trin able to bounce back from this one. Comes across the line in P12. And that is your lot. Apollo Pepsi gets our driver of the day. Haas driver doing exceptionally well after getting knocked out in Q1. There we go, Fever, your race winner. Mikau in P2, Big Al P3. Good to see 3 different manufacturers on the podium as well.
Thanks, Gus, for that. And we'll see you again next week.
No worries at all, Splicer. Yeah, you shoot off to your Tier 2 race, which will be on in a couple of minutes' time. So, by all means, thank you very much for joining me this evening. And I'll wrap it up from here. So, congratulations to Fever picking up the race win. Mikau and Big Al rounds out your podium. Big Al getting the bonus point for the fastest lap. We've got Apollo Pepsi, Geordie, Pons, and Captain of Gold. Combined YouTuber Artanis and Matt Kadabri rounding out the points. With Simdogger, Trin, and a Cat Potsy, Baitmate, Crush, Sandeezy, finishing off your grids. The 2 Mercedes drivers did still classify as they DNF'd on the last lap, so they get 13th and 14th there. But Hero, Ekim, and T-Mac did not finish at all. Alright, thank you very much for joining us. Just run through the incidents for the stream in case anyone needs them. We will be back very shortly with the Tier 2 stream, so please don't go anywhere. I've been Gus Rules. Mr. Spicer was joining me earlier. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.